This was the cheapest running and driving RX7 that I just found on Facebook Marketplace. And now, we're gonna revive it. After finding this on Facebook Marketplace, I knew I had to go and look at it. So after looking over the entire thing, I realized it was a bad deal for the price he had it at. But after some negotiating and tests, he took $4,500 off the original price, and he wanted to see the rebuild of this car. So it only felt right. So now it's here in my shop, and we're about to find out everything that's wrong with this RX7. I looked over the motor, and as we found out in the last video, there's numerous leaks coming from it, which is concerning. So today, I'm gonna go through the entire car and look for any other issues on all the parts on the car. I'm also gonna pull the motor out and do a thorough inspection of it to see if it's even healthy or not. If the engine's not good, we're gonna actually hit up Kyle Mohan, and then we're gonna actually see if he can help us rebuild this engine, which I think it might need to be refreshed and rebuilt. So. It's like it's misfiring or something. What the? Now it's even worse than what it was. It's like it's running without a cylinder.
Yeah.
A Dorito. She's so right now, like this thing's probably not gonna move. Like that's how bad it is right now. I was gonna be driving it around outside and showing you that it drives around, because in the last video I literally drove it around. But I mean, like right now I'm stuck. The car won't even start. So because it doesn't run, I prepped the car by getting it on the lift and got my first proper look underneath the car. Oh yeah, this exhaust hits right here. I'd say it needs a new exhaust hangers. I'd say that's last for aesthetics. Dude, I love the exhaust on RX-7. Looks so fucking good. I love this. The suspension looks like fairly decent, like it could stay. Oh wow, what the fuck? Look at that. Look at the leak. Look at the leak coming from the turbo. The back on the hot end of the turbo. Is that, oh wait, hold on, is that fuel? Smell it.
I don't.
Oh, what the fuck? He's like, smell my finger. I'm like, what the fuck?
Is it cracked?
Dude, look at how much, like, oh, there's so much, it's leaking from every angle, bro. That's not even plugged in. I'll touch it.
The white sensor?
I don't know what it is, but it's not plugged in. That's also not plugged in. Okay, there's like 5 or 6 things that's not even connected, like just random wires. In like 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a guy, my buddy Nick Clear, he's gonna come out and he's gonna rewire a whole new engine harness for this thing, because just all the wiring on this thing is just whack. Your leak, whack. Your tires are whack. Your seals are whack. Me, I'm tired as
You see what I'm talking about? Like how that's like not good?
Yeah, that's not even funny. I'm not even laughing at that. Like,
Yeah,
how f***ed up everything is, that's not funny. If you mess with a brake line, there's a sentence that I retract from the last series that I said, if the worst thing that could leak on your car could be fuel, I disagree. I think it'd be brakes. It'd be brakes and then fuel, and then it could be oil. If there's anything, I think the worst way that anything can be messed up, if your brakes are messed up, guess what? You're going to the car in front of you, a wall, wherever you're driving, you're going straight into it, and that's not good. Damn, dude, I can't believe this car ran. Dude, oh, fuck, that's cracked. I wonder if I can get that redone. After giving everything a quick look, I can't believe this car ran. But after our observation, it looks like we might actually have to pull the motor, so we started by draining the oil. It's important we do this because if the motor is blown, we'll be able to see shavings of metal in the oil. Obviously, we hope there isn't, but we're about to find out. Yeah. Dude, you can't even see through it, bro. Oh, wait, hold on, is it milky at all? I want to see if it's a mixture with anything, like, does it look like it's, wow, there's a lot of metal shavings like in there.
Really?
Yeah, look.
The pan was
Sparkle.
pretty dirt. Ooh, yeah, I saw a little something.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's any coolant in it.
Yeah, that's good. So I don't believe really a lot of the stuff on this was serviced, so we're just gonna go ahead and just kind of empty out everything, just flush out everything, just so we know that like everything's fresh in this car after we do everything. So we're just gonna let all of this out too. So we drained the transmission fluid, coolant, and power steering fluid. With everything drained, we started disconnecting everything to get the motor free to pull it out. We started by removing the exhaust. What's crazy though is the majority of the parts that are on here were pretty cheap, so we actually had to angle grind a V-band that was holding the downpipe in place.
There we go. Bro, this thing has like 3 throttle bodies. Have you seen this?
No. Oh, what the fuck? That's so cool. We kept working by removing the intake manifold, radiator, and lost our 10 mil.
That is the starter harness, by the way.
Love to hear it. Awesome. Now this was all the wiring, and this is coated in oil. Not supposed to be like that. This doesn't need to be oiled in any way, shape, or form. So we're just gonna leave that there. We hooked the crane up to the engine and pulled the turbo out so we could get the engine out easier. But while the turbo is off, I want to look inside the chamber and see how the apex seals actually look for the first time. It's coming up. It's coming up. Keep going. Okay, and stop right there. So you can see it coming around. Look at that. Wow, bro, you can see it coming around. Keep going. You hear it losing pressure? So there's the apex seal, which looks, dude, that looks solid right there. So I feel like that looks good. It's just there's some sort of leak somewhere. This is weird to say, but I feel like the inside of it is like good. It just leaks everywhere. We ended up taking the intake manifold and throttle body off so we could get access to the top of the motor where most of the intricate parts of the rotaries are. We were also able to get access to the top of the transmission to take the bolts off to pull the motor.
So we were trying to pick this up from the transmission, but if we put a bolt through the transmission, we would be holding the engine and the transmission together when we're gonna leave the transmission in the car. So we're gonna put the bolt in backwards to hold the chain.
This way, basically. So maybe grab this chain, put it here, and then maybe
this way.
The thing is now we're picking up the engine from one side, so we kind of have to go from that side. We have to cross over. This hard line is just cut. The hard line.
Where's that from?
I don't know. It's just cut. I don't know where the f it goes. I don't know what it is, who he is. What are you doing? Okay, cool. So we're on the last leg of it. We just figured out where to mount the chain to the motor because that was the hardest part, which was funny. We found this spot here. We put this hook from my JZ, and then we got this trans bolt that we're putting in backwards. That's gonna help. Right when we get this in, we should be able to put the chain on and start pulling the motor. But after we get the motor forward, after it shifts, we're gonna make sure we look all around the entire thing, make sure everything is disconnected, and the motor will be out. I never thought one day I'd be owning an RX-7, neither even working on it or pulling it out. Oh man, this is so cool. I got bad numbers for the compression test, but it looks like the apex seals look decent, but it looks like there may be some other problems in the motor. It looks like maybe the rotor's kind of like wiggled left and right, and then it's leaking through like one of the sides of the faces or something. I'm not sure what it is. That's what I think is happening. So there's a leak somewhere in the motor, and that's why it's not holding compression.
Here are these vacuum hoses that are capping everything off. And then we came around to the other side, and there's 4 ports right here that are just pulling outside air in. That is after your air sensor. So that's 4 vacuum leaks right there. There was a vacuum leak here. You realize if one of those were off or open, you'd like have a problem. You would have a full-on vacuum leak. But there's 4 of them, and then the throttle body hose was open.
Sorry, Cole, dude. I don't know what they did to your car, but this thing is gnarly. Well, it's my car now, but our car. How about that? We'll say that together. We actually realized a couple days later that those vacuum hoses actually just pass through and don't interfere with the intake manifold. I have high hopes that we don't have to rebuild this motor because that's gonna be so much, but I have a feeling that there's a lot that needs to be done for it to be sealed properly, like really well, you know? Yeah. So, but we're about to pull it out. We're about to find out. We actually spent the next few hours tugging at it with no success.
3, 2, 1, go.
I was told when I pulled the motor that I would have to undo something near the clutch. I had no idea where it was or what it looked like, and I couldn't find anything online about it. So we literally struggled all night. So the next morning, we came back with more answers than we had. We spent 3-4 hours yesterday trying to pull the motor off of the trans, and we had trouble with this like locking pin thing. And I think we figured it out because we saw a video where a guy finally describes it. So this is where the issue is. The issue's under here, inside of this hole. So right there, you see that little shim thing? That thing needs to be pushed in towards the clutch, I believe. Then literally the motor will be free. So I think we need to push it forward. You know, I would actually encourage you to do this.
Yeah, push it in.
Push it forward like that. And then now you can go under and this should be good. I had a quick meeting I had to be in to get some cool sponsors for the RX7, but Breyer kept working while I walked away. Good luck.
Yeah. Engine. So I'm gonna try to pull it back. Maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's gonna not, but I think this is the best attempt we're gonna make. Shit, I think this is working. This is the farthest out it's ever been. We've had it separated this much. We are out probably this much right now. All right, guys, time to sponsor me.
I came back from the meeting to see the progress Breyer had made, and I was stoked to see where we were. Oh my God, yeah, that is...
It's out. We're hitting the steering rack right now, is the thing.
Okay, so we pump up the,
Yeah, and we have more than enough room to pump it. I just touching it so that you could get it.
No, yeah, you're good, you're good. To my knowledge, it should take one person to do this, but it took like 5 last night.
I'm gonna get...
Oh, that was it. I just moved that.
You see what I'm saying?
I just literally moved that, yep.
Yeah.
No, she's out, bro.
This thing's out.
So you literally just push that thing in.
I see the end of the transmission, output shaft, input shaft.
Yeah, so you just push that little thing in.
It was, what I think happened is because we were yanking on it so hard, we kind of yammed it into like, stopped up.
We yammed it.
Yeah, we did.
New word.
Yeah, so So what I ended up having to do, I just beat the shit out of it until it broke free from the throwout bearing, and then the engine slipped out.
Really, just like went forward?
Pretty much.
Wow.
With like...
Oh my God. Oh, I've got this holding on actually. That's so funny. We didn't get it all out. Here.
It's all right, yeah.
There you go.
You just lost $2 with the rubber hose.
What the f***?
Oh yeah, we're clear. This is out. We could even drop the car.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Yeah, it's coming down, but it looks safe.
The amount of like dirtiness of this thing is crazy. Oh my God. That's the ring right there. That's what held us up.
This ring
Was pulled out all the way,
so
yeah.
it was pulled out really far, but to the point where it was like frozen on the throwout bearing. So every time I were to push this in, I was also basically pushing the clutch, like the
Wow.
throwout bearing. Like it was the equivalent of what would happen if we were to go press the clutch pedal right there.
Yeah.
So I had to free this off of this, and then it just kind of, whoop.
Wow.
Now that we have the motor out and I can get a close look at it, it looks worse than I thought. I mean, the whole thing is basically covered in oil.
And now I need to find out if the inside is healthy. But one thing I could definitely say is that this thing needs to be resealed, so I feel like we're already gonna have to pull it apart. Not only that, but all the parts that are on here are either cheap or old. So this thing is definitely gonna need a big rebuild, not only on the inside of the engine, but definitely on the outside. The turbo also has so much play that I'm not even sure if I'm able to use it anymore. So I'm probably gonna have to upgrade that too. Wow, bro. Kind of excited to dismantle this thing because it's so interesting. This fuel system is shit. Look at that leak from here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that has like RTV on it that like shouldn't. Like look at this. There's RTV. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's a thing that they do on these rotaries. But like, is there not like an actual gasket that goes there? 'Cause we didn't.
No, there was. I pulled it off. It's right here.
Okay.
Yeah. At least we can change the filter now.
Yeah. Can you believe you have to do all that to change the filter on an RX7?
Yeah, right? This thing is disgusting.
We have a drain that threads into an adapter, that threads into an adapter, that threads into the line, that is just worm geared to the pipe. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 chances of error.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, and then we have this and this, so there's like 5 or 6 chances of error. So we need to completely redo this entire engine harness, and not only that, I want to redo almost all the sensors on it because I don't know how much I can trust like these sensors. Like, what sensor is this? This is like a.
It's oil pressure, something like that.
You think so?
It looks like it.
Well, just wherever all these sensors are, like I know this was leaking. There's a leak coming from here. There's a leak coming from this thing too. Oh yeah, this is coolant. This is coolant. No, this is oil right here though. Like look through all this. This is all oil. Yeah, look right here.
The filter itself and that banjo bolt variable could have a drip, that gasket right there.
Oh yeah, look at this right here actually.
Yeah.
This wasn't broken loose either. So right now, what's interesting about this is I need to kind of do some research on it. I'm probably gonna send a video out to Kyle Mohan. He has a 1,000 horsepower rotary. He actually drifts some Formula Drift and he knows a lot about these motors. And I don't know a lot about these motors, and I'm alert about it. But I'm actually really excited to dive into understanding a lot more about these and just seeing what else needs to be done to just bring this thing back alive. God, I can't believe we were prying this hard. Look at this. This plate here is all bent to now. This whole plate here.
Yeah. I think we didn't realize that was a plate whenever we started prying. And by we, I mean me.
I think what I'm thinking of doing, I know this sounds crazy, but once we dismantle like all this stuff, and if the motor needs to be rebuilt, I think I'm just gonna put it in a suitcase and just go out to California and then just hand it to him. I think that will work. You gotta come see this too.
Okay, so what?
That's the apex seal.
That's right there is the seal, so, okay.
It feels smooth, doesn't it? It doesn't feel choppy. Have you ever seen apex seals like memes or anything?
I mean, I know
They're all like chunky and like they have like an oval like shave out of it, or like a half.
I've never looked at pictures, but I've seen the like change your apex seals. Oh, apex seals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody post a picture of an RX7, it's like nice apex seals.
Yeah. Maybe we just set it down. I'm gonna send a full video to Kyle, see what his thoughts are on just where the leaks are coming from and if disassembly should start happening here soon. Realistically, there's a lot of seals that need to be redone on this. I mean, this shouldn't be leaking from these areas. So it just looks like that this whole intake manifold area here with the injectors, like it just seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in this area that just doesn't look good. But I have a feeling this whole thing's gonna be redone. But if I do have to rebuild this whole motor, and it seems like there's a huge process in doing that, I'm even up for just loading in the Corvette and then just driving out to California and getting rebuilt. Once it's rebuilt, I drive it on back. That would be pretty cool. I think for now, we're gonna focus on the wiring. Holy shit. This is dirty. Probably also clean all this and see what we need to replace. Looks like we already have coilovers on this. That's nice, that's a plus. We might possibly even replace the front headlights, which I was kind of gonna tell you about. These things are actually, you can see that these ones are pretty broken right here. If you see that, they kind of separate. So kind of sketchy. So we're hoping we can get new headlights too, but I realistically, I love the look with the RX7 with the headlights down. So I think these are fine the way they are like this, but you know, I want to be able to see good at night because you know, you don't want to hit deers and rabbits and all kinds of stuff that's out here. Huh?
I know, hit one the other day.
Really, a deer?
Yeah, in my truck though. Would have killed that deer, not the truck.
Yeah. Now, all we have to do is get that motor rebuilt, get a new wire harness, and drop this motor back in this car and get it running so we can get it tuned. And then we're gonna have to do the body work with the aesthetics, which I'm gonna keep on hush hush for now, but I'm excited for that. I'm so excited for this build, and I've always wanted to learn more about rotaries. I definitely have some of the coolest plans for this car, and I plan to make it one of the coolest cars I have ever owned.
Top 10 rated